Hi everyone, Karen Rose Kobylka here. As some of you may know, that I'm a spiritual medium, tarot reader, life coach, and also an author of four books. And I'm revealing my fourth book, which is the sequel to Soul Dance, and it's called Misunderstood. So this is the book. I can actually hold it in my hands now. It's quite exciting. This is just my tab. So this is the box. I didn't open it in front of you because it was already open when I received it on both ends with no security. So I wasn't really impressed, but there was, those are all my books. They're matte cover. I'll show you the inside a little bit. Yeah, they did a good job. I'm really impressed. So, what I wanted to do today is to give you a little sample of what the book is about. So, I'm going to put on my reading glasses here and read a little excerpt from the book. So, just bear with me while I find it. I'm going to read, there's 19 chapters. And I'm going to read you chapter 10, the page from chapter 10. When the dust settled after I was released from the hospital, I was expected to carry on with my life. Can you imagine that? The truth is, I had no life to go back to. The medication brought me out of psychosis and back into reality, but reality was brutal. It was as if a tornado had been ripped through my world, and taken everything with it, leaving almost nothing behind. That was my life then, nothingness. A hollowed out existence where everything I had once known had either been taken, shattered, or scattered. Almost everyone had deserted me. I had two sisters reach out briefly here and there. My nephew, before he passed away, reached out as well, but they were not close by, and they did not really understand the full weight of what I was going through. How could they? Unless you have lived through something like that, it is hard to explain. People tend to think the crisis ends when the hospital stay ends. But for me, the crisis was only just the beginning. Money was gone, my sense of security was gone, my vehicle was gone, my cozy home that once held all my worldly possessions and gave me a sense of safety was gone. I was living in a rooming house with five other people. That alone was a major loss and a complete change in the way I had been living. Privacy was gone, stability was gone, safety and security had disappeared, and I was now surrounded by strangers. That was my new reality. My life felt like a nightmare. Not only did it feel like a nightmare, it was also, I felt like I was in shock. That kind of shock that leaves you feeling frozen, numb, and terrified all at once. I was overwhelmed physically and emotionally. I was exhausted in every way a person can be exhausted. I began sleeping 10 to 12 hours a day. My body was trying to recover. My mind was trying to recover. My soul was trying to recover. Everything in me felt depleted. And on top of that, I could not connect with the people the way I used to. Fear stood in the way. Embarrassment stood in the way. Betrayal stood in the way. What happened with the church and my community felt wounded in ways I did not fully understand. I no longer felt emotionally safe in the world. I no longer trusted people the same way. I no longer trusted the life the same way. I felt numb, dull, strangely detached, and oddly calm at times, as if I were watching myself from outside of my own body. Life was overwhelming, especially the ordinary day to day tasks that most people take for granted. Managing basic things felt almost impossible. Getting through the day felt like work. Existing felt like work. I felt vulnerable to the world and to its harsh realities in a way I had never felt before. The world I had lived, the world I had believed in, the one I thought was kind, empathetic, and caring, no longer seemed real to me. The world had vanished. The new world felt colder, harder, less forgiving. Before all of this, I never really had anxiety, or at least not enough to notice it. But after the hospital, anxiety became a constant companion. It wrapped itself around me and settled into my nervous system. It brought panic and a sense of impending doom and a fear that the bottom would fall out of my life all over again at any moment. I became afraid of life in a way I had never known before. That is what people do not always understand about what comes after a mental health crisis. They think that once you are medicated and no longer in psychosis, you are fine. They think the emergency has passed, so now you can just get back to normal. But there was no normal left for me. There was no smooth return. There was no soft landing. I was left to wake up in the wreckage and somehow figure it out how to live there. So that's just a little sample of the book. Like I mentioned, there's 19 chapters. So, yeah, I wanted to share that, and I hope you go to the link provided in the description and get your copy today. That would be great for your support. Thank you, and have a great day.